211. Help starts here.
I still remember the games, the laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the hard times.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
The help we needed. How far we've come.
Welcome everybody. It is Out of the Fog, live from St. John's here on Kenmount Road. We're a local matter show that goes right across the province, talking about all the cool things happening to make our province great. Tonight is no exception. First up, we have Robin from Haywards, a family business with heart, with a huge showroom happening, with Sandra coming through, and they tag teamed up with Pi and L for a fashion extravaganza that you will not believe. The photos and video are on lock, and we'll be talking all about that tonight. We have Alison Graves coming through with her new book. She is amazing, and you're going to want to learn all about her work. And of course, our boy Sheldon is coming through, and he has an inspiring story you're going to want to know all about. There's books coming, there's books been, and he is helping everyone around him, and you're going to want to learn all about that. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. It is Out of the Fog, and like I told you, it's all about tag team killing here tonight. And I love when entrepreneurs and artists and creative people get together and make unique, amazing things happen. So I want to welcome my guests to the left, Rob and Sandra. What's up?
Hey.
How are you now?
Well, listen, I'm very happy to have you here because very recently in our City of Legends, at the headquarters of Haywards, we'll talk all about that now in just a sec, was the shaker of the fall. And we're still losing our minds about it, to be honest. So just so you guys know, as we prep for the videos and the photos to flow, is there was a fashion show like no other held right in the heart of Haywards on Kenmount Road.
Wild stuff.
It was wild stuff. How did this happen? Who wants to lead the story?
Well, I was sort of just introducing myself to people in the community, and you know, Connie messaged me actually on Instagram, and she introduced herself, so it worked out really great. So I was like, oh, I have to go meet her. She said, come on in, and I'd love to meet you. She was following my Instagram, so I went in, and right away I met Robin, and Connie was there, and I saw the space. I walked around. And it was kind of like, right away I had a vision. I was like, I can do a show here.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'd like to do a show here. And Robin said, okay. And then I said, I'd like to do this. He said, okay. How about this? Okay. He just kept saying okay and yes. And I was like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? I'm like, I need to record you saying yes to these things because I'm not really sure you know exactly what you're saying yes to. This isn't just a normal show.
Right.
But he said yes.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'll hand it over to you first before I start running my mouth. I want you to let the viewers know all about the family business and how it started and how it's become so amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, we are a furniture store, for those who don't know, and we have quite the size of location. Again, most people don't know that. You know, we're on Kenmount Road here, but if most people were going down Kenmount Road and have never walked in, they're going to think we're a smaller store. But we're small by employee size, because of course we're a family store. Everybody who works here is pretty well family. And you know, so we've been in that location since 1990. And we have, as you probably saw, 25,000 square feet. And we got the warehouse there, so it's a big store.
Yeah.
So
it blew me away.
Yeah, people usually, they get a bit of a start. As a matter of fact, I find a lot of times, these days I start telling people that there's 4 levels.
Yeah.
Because when I say, have you been upstairs, they think the first set of stairs is it, but it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a bit of fun like that. So
yeah, I dropped breadcrumbs to on my way around there. And the area in the back is where the show went down.
Yeah.
And I mean, could you imagine a better room that was already so full of places to sit for the show? And that's why it was so unique and amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's a fun
inventive.
space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should be very proud. And I'd say everyone watching this, if you are looking for a huge showroom that goes on and on, you can't even deal with it, boom, Haywards. So you brought up Connie earlier. I want to give a nod to the OG home decor queen.
Oh, absolutely.
Started the family biz, I'm assuming?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a family business. We're still all together. We're still rocking
Wow.
along. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It is very
Yeah.
cool. And as someone who's watched your commercials over the years and got to know the brand in all the ways and seeing you in the commercials, so
Yeah.
amazing, your little dog, you know? It's just so cool because as a business owner myself, what goes on to make a business happen every day is a village, truly.
Absolutely.
And it's a journey every day.
Everybody. I mean, you know, from the moment you walk in that door to the moment our delivery people leave, it's a very important process, right? There is no part that's not. So, you know, it is a bit of fun like that, having a business like that.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, when Sandra came in and we started having a bit of a yak, and, you know, I had said that I had done a couple of events in the store before, and she was like, you know, her ears were like, wow, right? And I'm like, oh no. And she was like, you know, going on
Reeling
for it.
you
So
in.
we're after doing a couple of things that have been a bit of fun.
That's
right?
amazing. I'm watching the journey go down on the gram, and that is a heavily followed gram, let me tell you. So congrats on all the waves that you're making. And so I have to ask you, for folks who don't know, talk about pie and what led you here and what is keeping you here, I guess is the best way to ask you.
I think I'm under a spell, actually. I can't really put my finger right on it, but, you know, I think it's, you know, it really isn't just about the land and the people. It's actually how I feel. So I actually feel really great here, and I feel supported, and it's fun, and I'm meeting the best people, and the community is supporting me. So what led me here was like, I mean, you know, I've been telling stories in Ontario about Newfoundland and the rest of the world for around 19 years. And then I came in December, and then January, and then I just didn't want to leave because I feel like there's so many stories that aren't told here. And we tell stories all the time, but I feel like there's new stories to tell, but then there's also like new experiences, and I can pioneer a couple things here right now that are new, and I'm like, oh, this is exciting.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
And as you know, that's the lifeblood of this place is resilience, and on the edge of a rock, you got to make it happen. So we get creative real quick.
And she makes it look so good, right?
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you
And
check
so-
out that magazine. Someone at the fashion show the other night called it a book zine.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I
well,
thought
it's
that was
thick
it.
and it's luxurious, and it's
It
everything
is.
you want to sell to the world. That is what we are, and relaxed luxury. I heard you say this in one of your prefaces in one of the magazines, and I was just like, ooh, yeah, that feels like us, you know?
Yeah.
So it takes eyes that have maybe been outside in bigger urban centers to remind us of who we are, which I love that, you know?
Yeah.
And so fashion, the whole industry, you must love it, clearly.
I love it, and like for me, it's like I started calling it a book zine like probably around 2008 because I was trying to figure out what my place was in the publishing industry, and not being dated or seasoned was really important. So even when I'm doing a show, you'll see swimwear, you'll see winter wear, you'll see avant-garde, and it's like a little bit of amalgamation of all those things. And what did you ask me? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking now, forgive me, I'm just jumping all over the place because my mind is like a kid in a candy store.
I know, I was
thinking
having
back
a
on the
visual.
opulence of what went on there that night. I want to ask you, working with local makers as well as national brands that run, that were at that show, I mean, you know, how do you curate that mix and that balance?
It's really, you know what, I think it's because I think of it almost like a theater. I think of it as a play. So in my head, I was playing out a mummer's story where there was good mummers and there was bad mummers. There was new mummers, there was old mummers, you know, and we're actually like at home at Hayward. So the location really made sense. And, you know, so I could give you a story about every single outfit. And it was amazing that we had companies like Shan that showed their cruise collection for the first time in Canada here in St. John's. That's really important to me because I have been involved in many fashion weeks and fashion shows over the last 20 years, and then mixing it with, like, you know, Model Citizen and Logie Made and, you know, the local brands, and then bringing a brand like Bustle, which you were wearing, and then the tuxedo from the Model Shop.
Love them.
So I love the like high-low fashion. I love the ready-to-wear mixed with, you know, always in vogue, because that's like, to me, like the denim, like I love denim and always in vogue. Like that's kind of like, if I could wear that every day, that's like exactly the look.
I appreciate it. Guys, in the final moment, I want to ask everyone how they can get their hands on your magazine. Where do they go?
Well, you know, if you check out the magazine is really distributed with a lot of people that are in the publication. It is digital as well, and like medical aesthetics clinics and shops and bakeries, and like because it's so new, I'm still getting it out there.
Yeah.
So, but they don't last long. I'm seeing that people are like
snatching them up.
They snap, yeah. Haywards, how about that?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Come on by.
And listen, thank you so much for coming on. I'm always
pleasure.
jazzed to have business owners and entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and especially family businesses, because
Thank you
they're
so
the
much,
ones
yeah.
making the province
No,
happen.
it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference to
course.
who we are. It's a fabrication of where we are.
I
And that's what
agree.
you're showcasing.
And
we're
I'm a
all
family
part of that.
business too, and
Exactly.
like we even like
Yeah.
I've been to their home for dinner. Like I feel like I'm part of the family now.
Listen, guys,
Sis.
I invite me over for some desserts? Get me in.
Right?
Guys, listen, I love it. Thank you so much for you guys coming on. Come back
Thank you.
again.
Thanks so
This is
much.
Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and one of my favorite things is when someone comes on the show that I haven't met, and as soon as I see them, I'm like, oh my God, it's you. The person I see all over the place. Alison, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Well, and you know, guys, I'll qualify this, of course. There are some certain downtown bops that we all like to go to work or whatnot, and I've seen you in so many of those, so it's so cool that we get to hang out and get to know each other live on TV.
I know.
Right?
I feel like I recognize a lot of people that I've served coffee to. You know?
Yeah, of course,
And
of
you're one
course.
them.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I do love all the spots, and I love the creative energy in those places, and it's my favorite place to be because I get to feed off of that. And I asked you just now, you know, when it comes to creating, in terms of writing, which is what we're here to talk about, which is your book, and we'll get into that in just a sec. But for now, it's like creating in the writing form. Do you need to do it alone in isolation? Do you feel like you can be out in the wild, feeding off the energy? What's best for you?
I don't know. I would say that I'm probably someone who works best out in the wild, but I've really, you know, sequestered myself to writing and sitting at my desk alone, which who knows if that's for the best. But I think that's why it's always been really nice to like have a service job in St. John's. I worked at Fixed Coffee for a long time, and it was like 12 of my best friends, and we all have creative endeavors and play music and write, and it's, you know, nice to kind of like collect with a bunch of creative people. And
yes.
yeah, so I feel like most of the time that I'm doing like academic or writing, I'm still out in the world, you know?
And let's talk about what you're writing in terms of your educational pursuit, because I find that what your focus is could actually probably lend really well to the work that you're doing. So why don't you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I'm doing my PhD at MUN at the moment, which at many moments.
Yeah,
for a long stretch of years.
Of course.
I have to read something like 200 books by April, so I'm spending a lot of time alone and writing stuff on my computer, but it's been really nice. I'm doing it in Irish literature.
That's amazing.
So good place to do it. You know?
Great place to do it. Now,
Yeah.
you're from here?
I'm not from here. I'm from Ontario.
No way. Okay, very cool.
But
Did school bring you?
I didn't move here for school. My mom is from Bell Island, so
Beautiful.
all my aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins are all on Bell Island.
Love it.
So for like every year, like I've never spent a Christmas anywhere but Bell Island in my whole life.
No way.
So every year I would just like leave the airport, turn right, go straight to the island, and just like didn't, outside of like going to a movie at the Avalon Mall, didn't really have much of like a conception of town. So I moved here in 2014 after I finished my undergrad, and I was like, I'm gonna work for Riddle Fence, the literary magazine.
Exactly.
Which I am the fiction editor of now,
Okay.
and people should submit their writing.
Okay, Riddle Fence,
Yeah,
all right.
that's why I moved here, which is really crazy. And I interned and then met Lisa Moore and did the master's program. So
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like life and chance and the journeys that we take. Did you think 10 years ago?
no,
Right?
definitely not. I know, but I don't know. I don't think I can leave now.
Oh, no.
It's got me. It's
We're
got
not
me
letting
trapped.
you. We're not
Yeah.
letting you go nowhere.
I'm in the grip. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the book. I mean, ultimately, let's talk about that because as you mentioned before we jumped into this hang, it was a work that you had been bringing to life for a while, right?
Yeah, I started it in like 2016
Okay.
when I was doing the master's program, and Lisa was my supervisor, and they had just kind of started the master's program where you could like do a creative thesis instead of coursework, which
Amazing.
is really great. And I feel like there's not a lot of programs like that in the country, so that kind of like draws a lot of people to come here and write, and then you like graduate with an MA and you write a book, and it's pretty amazing. So I did that, wrote a collection of short stories called Soft Serve, and they came out with Breakwater Books like 5 months ago, 4 months ago.
Time flies.
Yeah, really
Time flies when
crazy.
you're writing books.
Yeah,
You
just
know?
whipping out the books, you know?
Well, you know, for the person at home and for me, because a friend of mine also just finished writing a book.
Yeah.
And I find that to be honestly one of the most impressive journeys because I work in marketing and communications where it's a lot about
Yeah.
short tail writing, concise or romantic or imaginative writing.
Yeah.
So long prose in any context to me is daunting to consider.
Yeah.
How do you eat that elephant? Well, I guess one bite at a time. What was that like for you?
I think like I can write a short story. A novel is more intimidating to me, and
Even a short story, girl. Like.
but like a short story is like, you know, just like can be cohesive and just like have an ending, and it's kind of like
You
cute
see the
and
arc.
short, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something I can manage, but I don't know. Thinking about when I wrote them now, I'm like.
Because you evolve so much as a person, is that why?
Totally. It's really weird to like put something out like 4 years after you wrote it, longer than that, because
Yeah.
it's just like people are like, "What's this about?" And I'm like, "I don't remember." But
Now,
you know,
do you see yourself an artist?
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think that what you're saying is so true, and that as artists we create, but we evolve at the speed of life. And so the piece of work that we made often doesn't get to see the light of day until years of evolution has occurred. So there's this interesting dissonance where we have to spend time promoting yesterday when we're already into tomorrow.
for sure. I mean, I don't know. I think living in St. John's is really the reason that this could happen for me. And I think I didn't, you know, think I would be an academic, but I think just working at MUN, living in St. John's has like allowed so much support around me to kind of feel like I can do what I want, you know, which is ultimately amazing. And
So our final minute,
Yeah.
what's next?
well, I'm currently writing my comprehensive exams, and I'm probably hoping to finish the PhD at the end of next year.
Cool. I'm not going to hold you to that.
Yeah, you know, we'll see how it all shakes out.
I'm not trying to stress you out. How many
Yeah.
100 books do you have to read before tomorrow?
A few, yeah. But no, I'm definitely on an academic track at the moment, but I love to write creatively, and you know, I'm just walking Signal Hill, playing the drums in some bands, writing some stuff.
You're living.
I have my fingers in a lot of pots, you know.
That's what makes a good life around here.
It is, yeah.
Right?
No,
Community.
it's amazing. I can't imagine existing anywhere else.
Well, please don't.
Yeah.
Guys, you want to be checking out Alison Graves' Breakwater books, an amazing talent in so many regards. And we come back again?
Of course, I would love to.
I love it. Until next time, guys, this is Out of the Fog, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy DC, Out of the Fog, and I've been trying to get this guy on the couch for too long, but he's here tonight to my left. Sheldon, how are you doing?
Doing grand, sir. Thanks for having me
Oh
here.
my God, thanks for coming. I'm always into folks that are doing good and helping people, and you're like tick, tick. And what a story you have to share. Obviously, another book is in the wings. This book has been out. Keep on walking, a transformative and inspirational journey. Has it been a journey?
It's been, how long do we have? It's been a long journey, right from childhood all the ways through. Been through a lot of different things in my life, but I've always come out the other side, and I've discovered that my purpose for being here is to help others to get through as well.
That's amazing. Now, tell us, and don't tell us too much now, but give us the arc of early years and how it shaped you into doing what you do today.
Right. Well, being born with a physical disability, the only person in the community that I'm from with a physical disability, being laughed at and picked at and bullied my entire childhood, which wasn't yesterday, and having a childhood that was full of trauma from my parents as well, which is after getting repaired quite well over the last few years.
Love it.
So being picked on, bullied, the odd man out, never being feeling like I could partake in anything with the rest of the children my age, always feeling isolated. It can give me a sour taste in my mouth for many years. It led me through many years of addiction. It led me through many years of actually living on the streets. So that's where the name of the book comes from, is Keep On Walking, because one of the things when I was born, I wasn't supposed to be able to walk. The doctors told my parents I might never be able to walk on my own. And it's only, wow, time flies. 5 years ago, I believe, I done the Tele 10, and I completed like ahead of 30 other people or something. But from a person who was never supposed to be able to walk, you know, to be able to do that, it makes me feel like, and it makes me, that's why one of the reasons why I share is so other people know that they can as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm there to help others and to help people find their own inner greatness, because we all got inner greatness.
It's so true.
We all
Don't
got stories
make me
to tell as
ball
well.
in your face. Don't
You know?
make me do it.
Right.
My favorite thing in life is people who take what they were given and they turn it up into more than they ever could have imagined. It's like a drug. And so I have to ask you, what are the gifts that you like to share with the folks that you help in all the ways that you do?
Well, for sure, I help people to realize that they can be resilient. Resilience is the key to many things in life.
Yeah, man.
If we're not resilient, if we don't face our fears, if we don't face our demons, then there's always going to keep haunting us. It's always going to keep bothering us. We need to keep on, not only the physical walking, we need to metaphorically walk as well through the manure in order to get to the pretty flowers on the other side.
You said it.
You know, so as I help people to realize that they are able to be resilient just as well.
And let's get salesy here. How do you do that? Do you do coaching? Do you see clients? Like, how do you do this?
I have an online course that I recently launched.
Love it.
It's a 6-week course.
Okay.
And it's available now. It's called Unleash Your Greatness. In 6 weeks to empowerment and education.
That's incredible. And so I have to ask you, when it comes to the writing, which I always say whenever I see anyone who can write, blows me away, because it's not easy to do. What kept you focused on telling your story and getting it down on paper?
Well, many years ago when I was younger, my father always used to tell me that I would never be anything. That I would never amount to much because I had a disability. So I come to realize, for many years I believed that. And years ago I used to think that the world owed me a favor because I was born with a disability. Until years later, when the pandemic struck, is when I wrote that book. I was after walking, it was during one of my walks, I was walking towards the liquor store. I was after quitting drinking 20 years before.
Right.
And I was walking towards the liquor store. I didn't even know where I was walking to, but it seemed like then like a wall just came up in front of me, an invisible wall. I would have walked around it, right? But I just stopped dead in my tracks. Where are you going? What are you doing? Go home and read your journals. Because I was after going to addiction treatment center for a few weeks, and one of the things we needed to do there was to keep a journal. So as I was writing my journal, so a voice came in my head that people told me most of my life, oh, Sheldon, you could probably write a book about your story. So I started writing instead of watching all the negative news. I decided to write the book. And I believe that, I know that's my reason for being here, is to help others to see for themselves that they can.
There's an expression I heard, and maybe you agree. It's not what happens to you, it's what happens for you.
Right.
Sometimes you got to dig deep for that gratitude when you feel like you've been dealt a certain hand of cards.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice do you have out there for the viewers here tonight who are being so inspired by your story? What do you have to tell them?
Well, there's many things. But I would firstly say that believe in yourself. Don't let nobody else hold you back. If you have a dream, if you have a desire to do something, do it. Who's to say that you can't, besides yourself?
A lot of people must be reaching out to you and saying that, you know, you're inspiring to them.
I've had a few.
How does it make you feel?
It feels good, but I don't necessarily do it for the fact of getting accolades and recognition. But I turn it back on them, and if I inspire you, then hopefully that inspires you to help somebody else. Because I do believe that we are all equal in this world. I believe that we're all brothers and sisters from different misters. It's just cheesy slang, I know.
I know, I love it.
You know, we all take a first breath, we all take a last breath. So, you know.
Very cool. So listen, I got to ask you. You talked about the book. We're in our final moment of our hang here today. What's next?
I do have another book that I will be having published by the end of, before Christmas. It's called The Road to Resilience, and it will be the second book to this trilogy of my life.
Any chestnuts to tease out? Any ideas of what we can expect in this book?
Just the kind of things that you would learn as you struggle through life, and some of the lessons to be learned, because there are plenty of lessons to be learned in life.
Exactly. More to come.
Right.
The best is yet to come. Do you believe that, Sheldon?
The best is yet to come. If you believe it, then you can achieve it.
Well, I believe it.
And you can achieve it.
Will you come back when the book's out?
Of course.
Listen, man, ever meet someone and feel like you knew him forever?
Pretty much.
That's you. I love it.
Well. Cool.
Guys, Sheldon is the man to take struggle and turn it into success and to help people around you. That's why we are here. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back to wrap after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the wrap. I want to thank some special people who came through. Sandra and Robin, thank you so much for what you guys continue to do. Thank you so much, Sheldon Crocker, for your inspiring story and what you're doing to help make all of us appreciate all of the gifts we got. And thank you so much to Alison Graves, amazing author, amazing soul, and amazing artist. This is Out of the Fog, and we'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Email us at comments@rogerstv.com or visit our website.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home.